Hello and welcome to Adults Only Let's Play. I'm Daniel Jones and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Coley Jones. Say hello to the people out there.
Hello, people out there.
Oh, there's people out there. Oh my goodness.
That's scary.
It is. We had like 30 people on the last video. Let's try and double that this week. How's that sound?
That sounds ambitious.
I know. So, we're playing a very popular game, so that might help our chances. This is The Witcher 3.
It's very popular in our house.
It is. I've been playing it quite a bit.
Yes.
So, our topic this week, if you're not familiar with Adults Only Let's Plays, Adults Only is a show where we talk about adult topics like romance, dating, sex, and stuff like that. So this week we also, if you're younger than 18, you might not want to listen because cooties and stuff. This week we're talking about something that we both read this week about, it was an article by a woman who said that she realized over time that she was, how'd she put it? She was
abusing her husband.
Oh, emotionally abusing her husband. That's right. It was very inflammatory. So the article went on to talk about how she treated him like a child in a lot of ways, and talked down to him and made him feel stupid for not doing things the way she would do things.
Right.
It's a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, not because of you, but because of my first wife, who we had that kind of a relationship. She was older than me, and she just it got to the point where I just had a very low self-esteem and didn't feel like I could do anything right. I couldn't cook right, I couldn't take the trash out right, I couldn't do laundry right, I basically just couldn't do anything right. So I stopped doing things, and that was a huge strain on our relationship. And I kind of realized that I personally need a woman that makes me feel like a man, and a relationship where I wear the pants. But what are your thoughts on that dynamic in relationships?
No, it was an interesting article. She cited asking him to pick up hamburger at the grocery store, and he picked it up and he brought it home, and it wasn't, like 90% lean. It was 80% lean, and she just went off on him.
It was 70% lean.
Well, gross,
which is really gross.
It's really gross, but still. And she just went off on him about how it's not how she, and how stupid could he be, and why would you do that? And she was like, he obviously doesn't love me. He doesn't pay attention to what I do and everything that I do around here. And it's definitely, I think, it's hard sometimes to give up when you're used to doing something, say the grocery shopping. It's hard to sometimes give up that control, but at the same time, he was helping her out. So he made a mistake. So you spoon the fat off and you make it work. But it's hard sometimes to not go like, oh, how could you not have paid attention to that? But I try very hard not to do that because I don't like treating you that way. I don't like treating anybody that way. That's not nice. But I'm a little OCD. And sometimes it's hard for me. Yeah, a little bit.
I hadn't noticed.
No? So sometimes it's hard. It's hard because we don't do things the same way. And it's not one of us is right and one of us is wrong. We just do things very differently. But, I sat down right after we got married with myself and I said, but things are getting done. And it doesn't matter how they're getting done. They're getting done. And he's so participatory in our lives, and he's so participatory with our daughter and with me, and making sure that everything is going good, and we have everything that we need, that I had to let go that it maybe wasn't done the way that I would do it.
So first of all, I'm just picturing spoon the fat as some sort of metaphor for like saving your marriage. That was really interesting. But I know that's not what you meant, but that's totally what I pictured. I was like, wow, that was deep. Oh my gosh. So
maybe it was what I meant.
Why do you think that women do that? And I mean, men probably do it too. Some men do. and I know that I do things and say things in my own way that can be kind of naggy. But why do you think women predominantly tend to do
I think that men either have a bad rep or are not very participatory in their lives. And I think that you just sort of expect them to not do it. So if they're not going to do it, then you just already start nagging because you expect them not to do it. And I'm not saying that's true for every man. And I think part of it is seeing your parents' relationship and how your parents were. I am from just me and my mom. She was a very strong, independent, single woman. And that's what I saw growing up. So for me to not be independent was definitely a change for me. To not just do everything on my own and to actually ask for help was hard for me because that's not what I saw growing up. Even though I saw my grandparents who were married, 64 years before my grandmother passed away, that was still a very, he didn't do anything in the house. I mean, she ran the house. She made dinner, she did the grocery shopping, she did everything. He worked. She made sure that she changed out of her pants before he came home into a dress. That was what I saw of a marriage growing up, even though they very much loved each other and it was a very fun-loving marriage. It was two very distinct roles. And then I saw my mom, who ran everything.
So basically, I guess I'm trying to understand why most women would do it, though. I mean, not all women have that same kind of background as you do, and a lot of women have to. Do you think it's because the mom kind of runs the house and feels like women grow up seeing their mothers running the house and doing certain things, and they see how it's done, and men, at least of my generation, we haven't really seen how it's done. I'll admit, when I was married to my first wife, I was not really good at certain things. So yeah, there were things that I didn't do correctly necessarily, but they did get done. But I think that is an issue, is that a lot of men, my generation, have not had to do that kind of stuff. Their moms didn't make them, their dads certainly didn't make them, and that wasn't the dynamic. But now we're making the leap where men are doing more in the house, and suddenly men have to learn how to do stuff in the house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think also part of it is there tends to be this show when you're dating that, the women, they just take care of their man and everything. And then you move in together and you have kids and you want it to be equal. And all of a sudden it's this shift that doesn't always get translated or communicated. I think that's part of it. I don't know. It's and not a popular opinion, but a lot of women are bitches. Let's just be honest. They're just bitches, and they're naggy, and I'm gonna get hate.
Vote Hillary, 2016.
No, but I didn't want to wear the pants coming into our relationship. That's not what I was looking for in a relationship. I want to feel safe, and I want to feel taken care of, and I want to feel like not everything is on my shoulders. And that we're a partnership, and that and really, that you're the man.
I think that's a big reason why infidelity happens. I think that's a big reason why sex in marriages goes downhill, because men need to feel like men. They need to feel wanted, and the moment they start feeling like your child,
right,
you've lost them.
I have a child. I don't, I need you to be my partner, not a child.
Right.
And I think, I'm a nurse. It's hard for me to give up control sometimes with that, because as a nurse, you just do it and you get it done and you don't wait for somebody else. But at the same time, I knew what I wanted in a relationship, and that's different. So I had to very much work on not being naggy. It's hard sometimes.
It is, and we're definitely not the perfect couple. And we've had our issues, but absolutely. I personally, and this is kind of to all the guys out there listening, because I I'm sure the majority of our audience is men. Sorry to stereotype, but it probably is. I think, I've made a really concerted effort to stand up for myself in our relationship. And there's been some occasions where I've had to. And, vice versa. There's been some occasions where I've said things to you that were out of line, and you've had to stand up for yourself. And that's important. You need to be able to communicate with each other. And if you're not happy about how the other's talking to you and you're not feeling respected, then you need to say that.
Absolutely.
And I see too many of my friends, like on Facebook or hanging out or whatever, their wives just talking about them in ways that if you ever talked about me, I'd be out. I'd be out the door. At least I'd be out trying to fuck somebody else.
Well,
so
I mean, we were talking about it this past weekend. Our daughter's in swim lessons, and there's some moms in the swim lessons, and one of the dads came to the swim lessons, and you come every week, and we switch off being in the pool, and the dad came for the first time, and there was just snide remarks back and forth before he got in the pool.
Well, you were in the locker room.
No, and then after, I was in the locker room, and she was like, I'm sure he doesn't even know where I am. He doesn't pay attention. And just going on and on about him. And I was thinking, why be with that person if you hate him so much? Like, if he makes your life so difficult, then why stay? And I walk out of the locker room, and who's holding the baby? The dad. So if it wasn't for him, where would your baby be? Like, he was watching the baby. And I don't know. I think, in a different class, they were going on about their husbands and how, they don't do this and they don't do that. And, she wanted 5 minutes to herself, and he put the baby in front of the TV and didn't do any, But that's not the guy. If that's what she wants, then she needs to communicate that to her husband. Then she needs to say, when I ask for 5 minutes, I would love for the TV not to be on. Can you just interact with the baby? Communicate that. If that's not making you happy, then communicate it. Don't bitch about it to your girlfriend.
It's also in the tone and the way that you say things.
True.
It's the way that the man says things, and it's the way that the woman says things. It's all in the way that you talk to each other. And same goes for gay couples too. Like,
oh yeah.
There's always one person that wears the pants in a gay relationship, from
True.
what I understand. And it can lead to the same kind of dynamic, and that's something that everybody really needs to be aware of and mindful of in their relationships.
But I think a precedent also has to be set in the beginning of the relationship. I was very clear with you that I wanted you to be a man, and to be the man, and to wear the pants, and I made that very clear. That was not foggy. It was not like, oh, maybe she wants that. I was very clear on what I expected.
And that carries over into the bedroom, which is kind of like your reward for doing that. Like, really, like, if you treat your woman with respect and you wear the pants and you step up and you are a man, then she's going to want you to be a man in the bedroom as well. And if you can stand up for yourself to her, she's going to want you even more in the bedroom, because that's sexy. Women like a man that stands up for himself. They don't like a man that just whimpers in the corner and backs down.
No.
Which can sometimes lead to bad things. But anyway, that's a topic for another time. This has been Adults Only Let's Play, Episode 2, featuring The Witcher 3. And I'm Daniel Jones, joined by the lovely Coley Jones. Thank you for coming on the show.
Of course.
Until next time, we will see you all later. Thanks for watching.